Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Scratching Post. And it is, as always, the end of the month. We're a day early, but it is time for the Comment Dense podcast.
Yay!
Woohoo! We're here!
We are here. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Comment Dense podcast, where I get my friends together and we comment densely upon the news that's happened over the past month or so, and also comment on, to give a topic for the day. And of course, this month we'll talk about GamesCom, because that was recently a thing. And, but first of all, we're going to start off as traditional with the show, which is us here. Welcome everyone. I'm, of course, Ebac, joined, of course, by my regular hosts, Shadow.
Hello!
Lemming, down there.
Howdy.
And of course, Burr, who is our guest out between Doctor and him. Hello. He's up. He's here. He's here.
Yeah.
So, what's everyone been playing this week?
I've been installing games meaning to play them and then not playing them. But I have been playing a couple of demos actually that I've been working my way through. One of which is called Death and Taxes, which is basically you are the Reaper. You are tasked by fate to. You're given it's like Papers, Please, but you're given a spread. You're given like a spread of humans and you're given like instructions like how many have to die, who you have to spare, and stuff like that. And you have to choose between them who you're killing and who you're sparing. And of course, you could like disobey, but maybe you don't want to because like you're being watched and it's middle management.
Yeah, you don't want to get audited. Yeah.
Yeah, and
No.
also you've got a phone which is connected to like world events going on, and basically it'll tell you like the consequences of your actions, kind of thing. And it's really fun, but the main thing that I really like about it is it's got Twitch integration, which is going to be really fun and kind of necessary because some of those choices got hard, man. Some of those choices got hard. So in the future, I think I might be streaming that when I get back to streaming.
Yeah,
Sounds like a plan.
All the responsibility to the viewers.
Yes, please
It's on
take
you guys now.
Yes, basically, take this responsibility away from me.
You seem to like these kind of games, Shadow. I mean, you were playing Cult of the Lamb, now you're playing Death and Taxes. What's next, do you think, for you?
World domination.
Oh, God. I've been there, done that. But what have you
I've been learning from the best.
But what have you been playing this week?
Oh, I've been possessed this week. For the last month I've been absolutely possessed by one game on Switch. It's called Triangle Strategy, which is a horrible title. But I was racking my brain for a very long time and I couldn't come up with a better title. So Triangle Strategy it is. It's by the same people that made they are associated with Square Enix. The same people that made Octopath Traveler. And it has the same sort of amped up, modernized 8-bit look, which looks really great. It looks the characters are adorable, the backgrounds are beautiful.
I've seen the pixel art, and that looks really good.
Yeah, that pixel art is gorgeous. And instead of JRPG, it's a tactics game, like Final Fantasy Tactics, like XCOM, like Gears Tactics, like all kinds of games where you have a team and you move them one after the other. You have to manage who does what attack on which enemy, what is the order of people attacking. All of that is decided by RPG-like parameters like speed, like initiative, like evasion.
What did you say this game was called?
Triangle Strategy. Now that you have Switch, I really suggest that you play it.
Yeah, I was going to make the announcement. I have a Switch at last.
Yes.
Yay!
Good man. I mean, that's the thing is that I always remember whenever Final Fantasy Tactics gets brought up within the Final Fantasy community, there's always like hallowed hush. It's like, ooh, very good, yeah. And I'm not a Final Fantasy fan. Even I know this. So there clearly is like a market there for tactics games based in the JRPG circle. So would you say this kind of fills that niche?
I would say it absolutely fills that niche. There's been quite a lot of games recently that are coming out. The tactics game, like Marvel, even Marvel wants a sort of piece of the action because Midnight Suns is going to be a tactics game.
True. Yes.
XCOM was super popular, and then all kinds of games followed. And the more the merrier. I love this genre of games, and I'm really happy that there's more and more. And people that seen Octopath Traveler, they were saying, yeah, this is great, but we want more because the graphics is gorgeous. And the Octopath Traveler was in some areas was kind of meh. The story was not great. It didn't. I didn't feel that I'm leading a group of people because every story was like very separate. I just as well could have been playing this not having a group of people. Whereas in this one, I really felt the all camaraderie and interactions between characters and the great stories, the great really side stories of everyone. So I really got hooked, and I spent over the last 3 weeks. I spent 130 hours because I wanted to finish this game with a true ending.
Mindwipe says in the chat, with JRPGs, I wanted to see Chrono Trigger remastered, but that's just me. I thought that that would be remastered, but actually it's Chrono Cross from what I can see here. That was remastered, not Chrono Trigger.
Not the original.
Yeah, they just keep re-releasing the Android version of
Chrono Trigger.
Chrono Trigger.
I would love it to be remastered, even just because it's so bloody difficult to get Chrono Trigger to buy this game.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, it's one of those games that's when it's available, it costs you an arm and a leg.
Please let us give you money. Jesus fuck.
We've talked endlessly about companies and their we feel their responsibility to ensure their library remains up to date and available throughout time. Because I mean,
I recently put an order in to my CEX to try and get the original Warcraft 3. I don't know when it's going to turn up because of the Royal Mail strike, but here's hoping.
I mean, can you imagine if someone came up and if you know, in about 5 years, someone said, "Oh, I'd love to read Charles Dickens," and someone said, "Well, you can't because they're out of print." You know, it's like, you know, books go out of print, but they're always constantly getting reprinted, and games just don't have that yet. And I don't think we, and even movies get reprinted. You know, it's I don't get why game is, especially in the age of where things are starting to shift to a digital marketplace. I don't see why it's becoming such a problem to provide that to people. Because again, it is my belief that the company's goal is like, we don't want to sell the thing to you. We want to sell it to you multiple times.
Yeah, and especially with what's happened with, I think we'll probably talk about.
We'll talk about that. Yeah.
But with what's recently happened, I think that's even more of a thing on the docket.
I wanted to address what Mindwipe was saying in the chat. Well, yes, I'm not wrong on the rarity because I was fucking trying to buy this game. It's impossible. So,
and this guy's generous. So if he's struggling to get it, I don't know what on earth that cost was. Lemon, what have you been playing recently?
I've been playing a lot of things. I'll start with a demo that I played recently. This is on Steam, available for everybody to try the demo. Available soon. They haven't got a release date. Agent 64, Spies Never Die.
Ah, that's the GoldenEye inspired game, isn't it?
It's pretty much just a modern remake of a GoldenEye game, down to the graphics, down to the controls. You right click and it doesn't like aim down sights like modern shooters. It brings up crosshairs on screen that then move around the screen. This is actually very intuitive to a mouse and keyboard design.
Isn't it fascinating that we kind of went through the Renaissance period where, you know, pixel art had like a resurgence, and we're starting to come down, and now we're starting to get like early 3D as like a kind of visual medium. I find it very fascinating.
I mean, people who were kids and were playing GoldenEye now have kids that are at that age, and they want to show them that.
Yeah. And it remarkably, it works. There's a demo. It's one level that has 3 different difficulties. Each difficulty adds new objectives to that level, so you can replay it a number of times to get everything. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. And putting that to one side, I've also been playing this week a boatload of Fortnite. Damn you, weird FTW, for getting me to download that game because I've been playing it all weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine Divot's probably been playing that as well.
And damn you, Epic, for putting Dragon Ball characters in the game.
That
Oh yeah, I
too,
forgot they did that. Yeah.
Yeah, preying on the poor weebs among our friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, okay, download the game. What's this? Okay, I guess I'll put money into it. Put
Yeah.
the
I
money
mean,
forward.
not even Star
Give me
Wars got me
Vegeta,
to play
please.
it.
One Vegeta,
Yeah.
please.
I mean, don't get me wrong, nothing against Fortnite. It's just not my kind of game. But
I did get my first solo victory a couple of days ago, though. That was
oh, would you like
You did?
congratulations?
Yeah.
yeah, on my own, no teams, just solo victory.
You
Yes,
also got
that
your
was good.
first win at Mario Kart last week as well.
Yes.
Yes, at 200cc.
200cc,
Yeah, I have no
amazing.
idea how that happened. I clipped it and
Yeah.
everything. You can
That
find
was so cool.
that. That was just like, how did that happen?
I came in
But-
second for like the first time with that group.
Yeah.
Like,
Also, we got a recommendation from chat, from
Mhm.
my wife, for a game, Far Changing Tides, and I absolutely
Mm.
agree. It
I will
is a
take a note.
wonderful game. It's like for 4 to 6 hours gameplay, but it's a really great Zen puzzle game. You're a little girl that is in charge of a sort of locomotive, and
Oh, I like the
you're
design.
maintaining the
Mm.
you're maintaining the whether you move or not, whether your engine bursts or not, and you have to like get your locomotive through various obstacles in this sort of very desolate dystopian world.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
linked
that
to
looks
another
really
one, isn't
neat.
it?
Yeah.
It's like far something
Far
else. as
Raising
well.
Sails that
Raising
came out
Sails, yes.
in spring this year. I don't remember exactly, in April maybe.
It's quite old now. Well, it's not old, but it's like
Yeah.
several years back now.
Far Lone Sales was 2018,
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
and this
There you
one
go.
came out in March. So yeah, I'm adding both of those to my wish list.
Mm,
Yeah, looks good.
It looks fun.
I'll check that out. Anything else you've been playing, Lemming?
Yeah, thanks to having a new Switch, yay! I've been playing a boatload of Mario Kart on my lunch breaks at work, and there is a Trials game on Switch. I can't
Oh,
remember what the full title is, but it's just I love the motorbike Trials games. It's like yes, and it seems to be like a mishmash of all the other ones jammed into a sort of best of. So I was like, yeah, this is a lot of fun. And then Nintendo were having a sale on their eShop, so I went, I gave myself a budget of like £500, and I only spent like just over 300. So I was like,
mm.
50 quid on games, boom, and now I have a boatload of games on my Switch to play on my lunch breaks.
If I may pick a few of your thoughts, Lemming, as a fairly new owner of Nintendo Switch, what are your thoughts of eShop?
It worked. That's just, it's,
I mean, sure.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Not wrong.
It's got nothing flash to it. For me, it's still a handheld, even though I play it mostly on my monitor, thanks to a little device that weird FTW told me to get. I can now put it on my screen. It's like,
Well,
yay.
we've always been not shy of saying that Nintendo are always very much behind the times.
Yes, yeah. But it was functional. Nothing really like pizzazzy about it. The only thing is, all of their prices are like first-party Nintendo games, as we've mentioned many times
Do
before.
not depreciate.
Do not
not
appreciate.
go down in price and start at a high premium.
Mario Odyssey, which was hell, Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild was a launch title for the Switch. It's
Yep.
still at that
Yep.
40 quid mark.
Yeah,
You know,
I was
it's-
like,
Yeah.
okay, I'll pick up Breath of the Wild. I played it when my former flatmate had a Switch. I played it all the way through. I was like, cool, I'd like to play that again. How much is it now? Oh, that's
50 quid.
50 quid.
No, I'm not
Yeah.
buying that. And
Yeah.
The crazy
Like-
part was,
Go on.
I bought Mario Kart 8 with the Switch. It was $39.50 from Argos. Great shop. Love Argos.
Yeah.
Always have.
And that's technically from the Wii U, because it's Mario Kart 8.
Yeah. But I then checked the second-hand stores to see what they had. Mario Kart 8 in Entertainment Exchange, £40 exactly.
Yeah.
So it's more expensive to buy pre-owned.
Mm.
Yeah, that is the thing. Is these Nintendo games do not depreciate in value at all.
No.
Nintendo have almost got an ironclad grip on that market. I've never seen another company like it. The only kind of equivalent is Sony's kind of PlayStation Store, and even then, I've seen some of their like premier games being on sale for about half price every now and then.
And
you-
people who
you
say,
s-
sorry.
Yeah,
You
you
go-
see
go
this in games that like you even see them on previous generations. They will drop to about 30 quid maybe, but I've seen GameCube games like Metroid Prime. I've seen them still going for like 30 quid
Mm-hmm.
or 25, and it's just like how like for GameCube games, there's barely any hardware that can play this damn thing anymore.
And then I was like, right, bought a handful of games. You know, I wanted to have a mixture of physical and digital releases, so I also bought
Hey, Sonic Mania,
Oh, nice.
Sonic Mania.
Tiny.
I spent, I think this one
the
was
greatest Sonic game ever
£30
made.
thereabouts. Yeah, roughly £30 from Argos. I got it. You know, delivered. It was all great. I then went on the eShop and it was on sale for 12. I was like, oh, okay. I guess I'm going digital for this as well. I'm going to keep the physical copy because why not? But
Mine got a very good deal. Interesting story. I brought my son a Switch. It came with Super Smash Bros. But snuck into the case was Mario Kart 8, and it was unsealed box. Win-win.
Dang.
Yeah.
That is nice.
that's a factory flub that you benefited from. Well
Yeah,
done.
somebody was clearly was like, just make somebody's day here.
Smiling down upon you.
Yeah.
I've been
I
playing.
just feel sorry for the poor bugger that got a box without a disc in.
To be fair, they would have taken their thing back and gotten their refund. So,
Yeah, exactly.
but I've been playing some. I've been on a bit of a kick this month. I've been trying to get some. I completed and platinumed Horizon Forbidden West. I completed and platinumed Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
Yo.
I've been on two great games, two very different games. I mean, naturally PS5 versions of them. But I really enjoyed Horizon. It's one of those big games. I felt like it could have been a bit smaller, and it was one of those things where I think I saw a comment about this, that we're starting to reach a point where games are getting so big that they're starting to depreciate in terms of what you get in them. But even still, I really like the size of that world. I didn't feel like it was oppressively large. There was always something to do with it, a very short distance away. Quite like that. And Rift Apart was a great little platformer. It's nice to see that Ratchet and Clank can still deliver. And just the weapons of that are crazy as ever. So I'm not going to complain at all. Now currently making my way through Cyberpunk 2077. Well, now that's on patch 1.05 because it's more or less playable at this point.
You mean once it's now actually finished?
No.
No.
But it's playable.
But it's playable. And it's fun. I'm enjoying it. Like, it's such a... Go on, Bert.
Did you meet Jesse Cox already?
I have met Jesse. Yes, I have done Jesse's quest, which was hilarious.
So long as your first instinct wasn't to tell him to bugger off.
No, I'm someone who tends to do these side quests because I like interesting characters. What can I say?
Have you seen what happens if you tell him to bugger off?
No.
His dick explodes. So.
Oh.
His entire lower half just.
Ooh. Yeah.
It's not pleasant.
I preferred the way that mine one ended. So.
Yeah.
Other claim I can do is beat in game recently was Bar's Tale Trilogy. Beat all the dungeons. You don't want to see the amount of graph paper I have now in my house.
Oh dear.
Apart from that, I've also spent some time playing some Fallout 4, doing some modifications on that because some new mods came out for that, like the Laser Garand, and I was just wanted to like do some gaming on some Fallout 4, some modified Fallout 4. That thing is modded within an inch of its life. I think if I add a couple more, that thing's going to collapse in on itself, like some kind of black hole.
For those wondering at home, yes, it still does the ting.
Yes, it does still do the ting. So yeah, that's basically what I've been doing for the past week. Right, so then we've caught up on past month or so. Now that we've caught up on what we've been doing, let's go through our chosen news topics of the week to kind of just discuss. Who wants to lead us off, or do people want
Well, I can get us started with a couple of really quick ones.
Cool.
One, weird. The Yankovic Story has an official trailer now and a release date. It looks stupid, and I love it.
It's nice to see Daniel Radcliffe. It's nice to see Daniel Radcliffe getting some work outside of Potter. Um,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's always nice to see him do so.
Yeah.
I mean, he was magnificently stupid in Guns Akimbo.
oh,
I liked Guns Akimbo.
I still have to watch that movie, but when I was watching trailers, I was so happy when I heard Daniel Radcliffe speak American accent. Because
Mm.
whenever he was playing in the movies before, he was using his original British accent, and that was a bit too much resembling his creation of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
But when he was using American accent against Akimbo, and I think he's also gonna do an American accent for Weird Al, obviously.
Yeah.
So
Also-
Well, the thing is,
it's
you've
gonna
got to
be
give
awesome.
him respect. You've got to give Daniel Radcliffe a lot of respect because he got money from Harry Potter, was world famous, and what did he do with that? He started taking the weirdest roles he could
Yeah.
find.
I mean, that's his life creed. He's taking movies that he reads the script and says, "This is bonkers. I like it."
yes, because
Yeah, I mean,
he
Swiss
won.
Army Man.
Swiss
Yeah,
Army
my
Man.
favorite Dan Radcliffe and Paul Dana movie.
He
Yeah,
doesn't want to basically be typecast as the Potter like character, and so that's why he's taking these very different and off the wall roles, which I love it. Shout out to Cooper90 and also Kay in the chat.
Cooper
Yeah.
and Kay.
Hello, Kay. Hello, Cooper.
Ew.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Okay, so
Ah.
okay, well, there was a couple of things you want to talk about, Lemming. Was that all of it?
That and take yourselves back, if you will, to the early 2000s.
Are we Mr. Coffeeing this?
No,
Diddly, diddly, diddly.
I was about to say it's the hub.
not quite. No. There was the genre of PlayStation games called driving action games, you might call them. Destruction Derby, was popular. And there was another one which added firepower to the idea. Twisted Metal
Uh-huh.
has wrapped on its first season of a TV show.
Oh yes, the TV series. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
So
very
that'll
curious.
be coming soon.
I'm very curious how that's gonna go, because I love
I'm
Twisted
very-
Metal.
And it's apparently going all in on what it actually should be, in that Sweet Tooth as a character. They're actually putting the actual game characters into the series.
Which kind of makes sense. I mean, I think people have had a bit of a lukewarm reaction to Resident Evil as the series. I've not seen it, so I can't comment on it.
Yeah, considering it's only got
I mean,
one season and is now
yeah, definitely Netflix.
Yeah, it's getting cancelled.
Definitely Netflix. A lukewarm reaction to it.
I'm very surprised they've not thought about having a game to go alongside the TV show to kind of promote it, because let's not forget that another game launches in a few days' time called The Last of Us Part 1 remake, which is pretty much an excuse to have a game to go alongside the TV show for that's coming out. Which, bear in mind, I have a whole we've had a discussion about this. We're going to do a remake of the remakes and remasters episode. That's probably next month to discuss this. So we're remastering an old episode of the podcast we did from less than a year ago to talk about like what is a remaster and what is a remake. Because there's some interesting
the same
things.
shirt that I had.
So that's for next time, everyone. Right. So
Also, shall we? I just want to call out Cooper's comment in a moment. I just want to seeing that Far got a shout out earlier. I'd like to also recommend it, seeing as my company published it. But
Wow,
so,
nice.
So yes, thanks, Cooper.
there you go. Cool.
Thank you, and thank you your company as well.
And that is a
Hope
really
they
good
pay
game,
you well.
and a sequel to a really good game.
Yes.
So one thing I want to highlight, because I've got two kind of news topics as well to talk about. One that is fairly positive, one that is a bit more controversial. Let's go for the more controversial one first, so we can end off with a more positive vibe.
I will be riding one of the. I will be. This
Riding the
reference
coattails.
This reference will make more sense later. But I've got those hooks, and I'm riding the worm on one of those.
So, there was some controversy when early this month, of course, one of the big releases that's came out this month is, of course, Spider-Man from PlayStation Studios and Insomniac being ported to PC. PC players can now finally have a go at playing it, which is a great game. I highly recommend anyone who's played it to grab it. Great, fantastic game. Of course,
I get paid on Wednesday.
it being a game, some people started to kind of mod it, and there have been so many mods, replacing some of this, adding some suits in there from that weren't featured in the original game, things like that.
The Stan Lee suit.
The Stan Lee suit, yes, or Kermit the Frog if you really wanted to.
Yes.
However, there was some controversy that led on from this, and that was when context in the game, you're flying on the sea. There's flags flying from the building. Some of those flags are various flags of the Stars and Stripes, the American flag. There's some pride flags in there, some rainbow pride flags, and various other flags. I couldn't tell you if there are flags other than those two, because to be honest, I never really paid attention to what flags are being flown. In fact, I didn't realize there were trans flags in the game until pride flags in there until someone pointed out that they were there.
Because you have to land on the ground and look around, and if you're
I'm too busy swinging. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, I need to get the next objective. Here we go. But there was a mod released, which was put onto Nexus, the of course famous, most prolific mod website these days, off the mod DB. And the mod was a mod that removed the pride flag and replaced it with the American flag. Now, this caused a bit of an uproar because the mod was then taken down by Nexus Mods, and they made a pretty definitive statement on that.
That they did.
And in fact, I'm going to read it verbatim here. Recently, there's been some silly drama on our site that's sparked by someone uploading a mod for Spanner Remastered. The mod replaced a very few pride flags in the game the game actually has with the already prevalent USA flag texture from the game. The mod was removed from Nexus Mods and the author was banned. To address the banning, which a lot of people want to focus on, the mod was uploaded by a sock puppet account, i.e., a newly made account by someone who already has an account on the site, and uploaded under the name Mike Hawk. It was very clearly done deliberately to be a troll mod. The fact the user needed to make a sock puppet account like a coward to upload the mod, and these are their words, I'll point out, showed their intent to troll, and they knew it was not to be allowed. Had they not been a coward, and had they used their main account instead, we would have simply removed the mod and told them that we did not want to host it, only banning them if they re-uploaded it again after being fairly warned. The creation of the sock puppet account removed any doubt that it was made it very easy to us. Both sock puppet account and the user main account have been banned. In regards to the replacement of pride flags in this game or in a game, our policy includes thus: we are for inclusivity, we are for diversity. If we think someone is uploading a mod on our site with the intent to deliberately be against inclusivity or diversity, we will take action against it. The saying goes for people attempting to troll other users with mods deliberately to cause a rise. For our part, we'll endeavor to do a better job. When questioned upon this, I will point out they say, we don't want to and won't argue with you. We've now explained our stance and won't be providing a platform for you to distort our position in order to feed an irrational and paranoid narrative. You can do that elsewhere where we won't read it. And basically said that if people disagreed with that, you can delete your account.
Yeah, get fucked.
Yeah. This caused some controversy because there are some people who believed. Yes. I've been involved with the mod, so you never upload on a sock puppet account. It's kind of an unwritten rule. Now, the controversy about this is, one, people say that effectively the mod was not hurting anyone. It should be allowed to exist. If someone wants that, that is their choice. Other people are also saying, well, there's a mod that replaces all the American flags with pride flags. You're not removing that, so why you're removing this one? A lot of, I think, are personally very bad faith arguments. The USA flag is not a flag that's used by oppressed people. It's whereas
unless it's their own citizens.
Unless it's their own citizens. Or they
and they don't even know it.
Yeah, they don't even know. Then I think the key issue is that someone had to intentionally see the flags and think, I don't want them, I want them removed. And that just to me seems very icky, no matter how you word it.
Yeah, there's something very uncomfy about seeing a flag that represents LGBTQA plus people and it upsetting you to the point that you want it removed.
Yeah. Now, people will say, well, then what about the one that removes the American flags for the pride flags? I can't speak for that mod owner, but personally speaking, it's quite nice to actually know that there's actually one flag in the game. And having option to replace all of them, it's being prideful of. It's a bit like having a mod to replace that flag with your country's flag. There are some people there's some people who identify with the pride flag because their country doesn't necessarily represent the values that they believe in, and the pride flag has very clear goals of what they believe in.
Besides, if you the pride flag is more an identity thing, and the people can argue like, oh, but I identify with the American flag, but you need to realize that people have used the USA flag for some pretty nasty shit. So, and besides, you can change your nationality. You can't change.
Comment I make to kind of lead on from that, Shadow, is I once made a comment about this, arguing with someone about it, saying, let's put it this way. If I went to a Ku Klux Klan meeting for whatever reason, and I saw the American flag waving, wouldn't bat an eyelid. But if I saw the pride flag, I'd be like, is this seriously a KKK meeting? Which, by the way, I'm not in the KKK. I just like, you'd expect to see the American flag flying at a KKK meeting because, of course, they would.
Yeah.
America,
yeah.
Well, if I saw a pride flag at the KKK meeting, I would be expecting that to be getting burnt on the street.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kay
nailed it. Kay nailed it. It's the nationalism.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, you can be patriotic, but you've got to be careful how far you take that.
How far you take that, yeah.
There's a difference between patriotism and fanaticism.
Yes.
I'm very proud to be British, to a point. I also...
I'm very proud to be British when we're not fucking leaving people to die of fuel poverty this winter.
Yeah, exactly. I'm quite proud to be British so long as we're not colonising other countries.
Yeah,
That's
what he said.
Or inventing concentration camps. Or
there are some reasons to be proud to be British, and there are some reasons to be ashamed of it. Just like for me, there's a lot of reasons to be proud to be Polish, and there's a lot of reasons, especially recently with my government, to be really ashamed to be Polish. So it's always like that.
It's almost like countries are not completely perfect.
It's almost like nationality is a social construct.
I know, right? Speaking
of, like they're lines on a map.
So my mind just suddenly went to those amazing random events in Red Dead 2 with the KKK people where they just are made out to be utterly incompetent. I just love it. I love those moments.
You mean like in Django Unchained?
Yes. Yep. Exactly. Like Django Unchained. Fucking, I love that movie. Jesus Christ, nationalists. Oh, and if you're a white supremacist, fuck off.
Just wanted to self-criticize and disclose. I was initially trying to defend the right of that mod to publish whatever they wanted, or at least use whatever they wanted. But then I got to think about that they might even not really believe what they did, especially since they did it with a sock puppet to protect their original account and the sort of name they choose, the John Hawk, whatever.
Mike Hawk.
It felt like they don't stand behind it at all. They just wanted to stir shit up.
And that's kind of what mine white step. A mod should reflect gameplay modifications. This sounds more like a political than mod for game itself. And he's right.
Yeah. And they wanted this to be like picked up by those crazies who actually stand by this idea. Who actually are offended by the fact that there are some people who are proud in their sexual and gender identity.
But no, horrible thing. When it's amazing that a flag caused so much shit in a video game.
Rainbow flag, guys, get over it. I thought we were supposed to be the snowflakes.
Oh, dangerous words there, Shadow. Shadow.
Am I wrong?
But you're not wrong. I never said you were wrong. I never for a single second said that you were wrong.
There's an awful lot of projecting that people do
Yeah,
these days. It
it's-
sure ain't me.
it's almost like we represent the facts, not feelings.
Yeah, I know.
And,
Facts don't care about your feelings, guys. It's just a rainbow. Come on. Why is it so scary?
Kay says, "Get him." Release the gremlin.
And on that bombshell.
We'll move on, but Cooper just posted something really long, so let's go look at it like that. There was an incident in Cambridge back in February where a pride flag was flown upon a university, only to be taken down a few days later, as the heads of the college said that they removed the LGBTQIA plus flag as it would avoid concerns regarding political neutrality and the difficulty of choosing between the plurality of good causes for which a flag could be flown. Wow, there's a lot of bullshit in that sentence.
What the fuck?
They basically put the flag up in support of the students, then took it down a few days later. People were not happy.
What the fuck?
I worry that they had good intentions. They put a flag in support of the students, and then some governing bodies of the state, of the county,
Yeah.
Well, we don't know.
whatever, came and started pulling their weight.
So-
and
So we've got here's what their neutrality is like, okay? So we've got support for non-heterosexual identities, and then it's just oh, we could not support them at all. We could just completely fucking ignore them. And they decided the neutral option was to completely fucking ignore them. Yeah, because that's totally neutral, guys. The problem
Yeah.
is being neutral is a political stance in this regard. It's
Mm.
either we
Yeah.
see you as people, or we don't see you as people. And you've chosen the we don't see you as people. Great, thanks, guys. That's really comforting.
Especially since there's a fairly legitimate option for looking at the flag and not liking it, and that is casting your eyes elsewhere and then doing something else. You know.
Also, technically, the rainbow, it's not. Also, the rainbow was used for the NHS as well, to support the NHS. So technically, you could say, well, you're saying that the NHS can go fuck itself as well. So you're shooting yourself in the foot twice over. I know it's not an official symbol, but it was. They did want to use it as a symbol at some point, and I think a lot of people just said, "Please don't do that."
But then again, when you're a Tory supporter, you support both views. That LGBTQA should go fuck themselves, and NHS should go fuck itself as well.
That is
support
true.
both causes.
Yeah, let's not get into Section 28 because it will make me and Elle extremely angry. But
Cool.
But I'd like to piggyback off what Elle was saying about mods, because a certain Steam developer got very into political stuff, because the dev for this little gladiator game called Domina. I'd love to have the article up, but PC Gamer has fucking crashed, so I can't. So I think it was Dolphin Bite Studios or something.
Dolphin Barn or something like that.
Yeah, I'll go with Dolphin Bite Studios until somebody corrects me. Basically, they had this little gladiator game, and everything was going fine. And then, for some reason, they put into the patch notes, "Hey, you should take the masks off. Women don't like men that wear masks. See, are you less of a man? You're less of a man for wearing masks. If you took the mask off, you'd get a girlfriend. Na 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 na." And then people were like, "What the fuck?" So he got teased about it on Twitter, and then proceeded to have a meltdown. Well, didn't have a meltdown. He got very cross, and more of these patch notes started to come out, where it ran the gamut between guys are too busy fapping to women on OnlyFans. They should not be fapping to women on OnlyFans. They should, because the more you fap on OnlyFans, you won't have all the skills to rebuild society or something like that. And men should be fighting people with their bare fists, and women should be in the kitchen. Well, he didn't say women should be in the kitchen.
I don't want to fight anyone.
Yeah, but it was stuff like that, and it's just really weird, conservative.
Yeah.
It's getting to the point where I just want one of them to come out and say, "I think we should all go back to living in caves."
That was considering what was happening later, it was he wanted to go back to medieval times, I think.
Yeah.
So this happened, and then he started doing some shit. He started to do some. So it got so bad that he started getting really shitty to people on his Steam forums, to the point Valve actually came to him and said, "Look, could you please just calm down for like 5 fucking seconds, because we don't look. We like our business relationship with you, but if you keep doing this shit, we're gonna have to throw you off your Steam forums, because Valve, the kings of not getting involved in anything at all that doesn't threaten our bottom line. We are actually coming to you and say, please stop." He did not stop. So and then he, spoiler alert, he did not stop.
Oh
Spoiler
no.
alert, he got banned from the Steam forum.
Oh no.
So he got very cross about this.
For his own game.
Wait. You're telling me he was warned he'd get banned?
Yes.
He continued, was banned, and then got annoyed because he was banned?
Yes.
Oh no, the consequences of my actions.
But it gets better.
No one told me before.
It gets so much better. Last week, on Monday, there's a content creator who also wrestles called James Stephanie Sterling, formerly known as Jim Sterling. They've come out as non-binary, trans femme kind of thing, and they made a Jimquisition, basically recounting all that I've just said.
No way.
Teasing this motherfucker. And what happened next? What happened next will shock you. This guy had a fucking meltdown about it. He had a meltdown. So I'm just going to point out, Stephanie did not engage with this man at all. Did not retweet, did not reply, and he lost his fucking mind. He had a meltdown. He had a meltdown that was filled with all kinds of transphobia, because of course, and to the point where he went, I quote, "I don't even know who this person is. I thought Jim Sterling was a dude who reviewed games. I'm confused why they won't tag me or reply to anything as though I'm not here." And he literally tagged Twitter support at one point, going, "Why is Jim Sterling not replying to me?"
Oh dear.
All the while, sorry.
Yeah,
if I may add.
Yeah, people were coming into, well, of course, because Stephanie Sterling basically retweeted their comment, and said, "You should see what this guy is doing. This guy's having a fucking meltdown in our replies. Holy shit!" People went in and, of course, engaged this guy, and he just lost his fucking shit. There was stuff about somebody said something to the effects of, there's been some scientific studies that show that masturbation can actually help with reducing the incidences of testicular cancer. Which he went, "You shouldn't be masturbating. Something. You should be nice. Something. Celibacy good." And stuff to that effect.
Don't tell me what the fuck I can do, dude.
He was literally arguing anyone.
He was arguing with everybody, and every time somebody came against him, he blocked them, to the point he was blocking people who liked the posts that were criticizing and teasing him. It got so silly.
It's ridiculous. But I don't like it. I don't like religion, because there's people telling me how to run my life. I'm like, I'm the person. I will choose how I want to live my life, even if that's bad for me. Mm-hmm. You know, God, I feel there's only one way we can resolve this whole thing, Shadow. You know what that is? Go on.
It was actually resolved.
Oh, it was resolved. Aww.
Do you know how it was, though?
No, but I wanted it to be all like, in the blue corner, weighing in it, who the fuck the weight is.
He went down without a fight.
He went down without a fight because he was being such a shitweed in the comments. People kept reporting him, and he wanted Twitter support to come to his aid to know why James Stephanie Sterling was ignoring him. Oh, Twitter support came and listened to him. They banned him. They banned him off Twitter. Just completely annihilated him.
Yeet.
Yes. So,
fuck around and find out.
So that was how. But it's just so fucking funny that Stephanie, he was losing his. If he just kept his political opinions to himself, none of this would have happened. This was completely his own fucking doing, which is hilarious. Yeah. And it's just like...
No one helped him.
Yeah, he just he had a fucking meltdown and could not handle the fact that somebody was ignoring him and just not replying to him. He was just like, "No, but you must."
When you said you were riding my coattails on this, I didn't expect this to be so compelling.
I rode the sandworm all to the end.
Okay, what's next on the news to discuss front? Bert, I believe you've got something regarding the Embracer Group.
I do. I wanted
Yeah,
to.
we've now been bought by them.
No, we have not. We have. I legally have to say we have not been purchased by the Embracer Group.
Where's my cut?
Yeah, I mean, I first wanted to say a bit about because we have all just heard about the Embracer Group not long ago. Because
Thank you, Mime.
they have been active since 2011, but actually they've been sort of household names since May. Because there was an article that we were covering that they wanted to create a game archive for game preservation purposes. And that was the first time that we've actually heard about the Embracer Group. And everyone, including people related to the industry, were like, who's Embracer Group and why am I finding this out now?
And then they were like,
Yeah.
surprise, motherfuckers, we're buying the game industry.
Yeah, and they've already had a lot of game industry because by May, they've already had like 120 studios gathered in 11 control groups that hired about 14,000 people, controlling about 850 APs. They already had companies like THQ Nordic that created Darksiders and Titan Quest and Destroy All Humans. They had Coffee State that created Goat Simulator and Valheim. They had a Pliant group that holds IPs like Saints Row, like Metro. They had Amplifier that created Little Nightmares. They had Gearbox. Gearbox that's super well known, especially from Borderlands. They get all kinds of companies. They get Flying Wild Hog that created Shadow Warrior remake and Bulletstorm.
Mm-hmm.
They had 3D Realms that has IP Duke Nukem and Prey. They had Piranha Bytes that made Gothic.
Yeah, they've really kind of acquired a lot lately.
Yeah, they had Dark Horse Media, which has a lot of really good comic books. They have a lot, and that's people started paying attention to the company. And at the moment, it looks quite benevolent. Well, maybe not fully benevolent, but it doesn't sound malevolent because they are just a holding company. They just, keep financial control and financial protection for the companies they own, for their subsidiaries. So they will reap the benefits, but they will also hold the financial umbrella if something goes wrong. But they are trying to give companies freedom. They try to have company philosophy that says we're giving you a long leash and you do whatever you like. If you have all kinds of crazy IPs and you can create whatever you have as long as you believe in it. So at least for now they're making very, very good noises about that. And the fact that they have a lot of things, yes.
Oh, we were losing you, Bert, for a second.
Yeah.
Am I back?
You are back.
Okay. That's that big as a company either, even though they have so many things, because it's like their total assets like about $3 billion. For just Sony interactive entertainment branch, the total the revenue for 2021 was half of that for just 2021, whereas it's total assets for Embracer Group. So they're not that big. They're not yet looking to monopolize the entire market, but they have a lot of things and a lot of things that people are really interested in.
Especially now.
Yeah, and so one
God,
thing,
yes.
Yeah, and so I am back. Yes. One thing that they got in May was they were buying things that Square Enix was selling. Because Square Enix had a wonderful, brilliant idea of investing in NFTs, because that's you can't lose on NFTs. So they
You
were
can't use
selling
an
things.
NFTs, right?
And,
Sounds
Yeah.
like
and then a few days later, they proceeded to lose on MFTs.
So they were selling.
Sound
They
of
were,
cryptocurrencies crashing in the background.
Yeah. So they were selling on kind of old knickknacks that they found on the attic, and they wanted to get rid of, like, I don't know, Eidos Montreal, Square Enix Montreal, Crystal Dynamics. They decided to sell that together with all the APs, like Tomb Raider.
Yeah, I've been speaking with Steve of War and his community, and because he seems to be quite a good representative of the Tomb Raider community, and the Tomb Raider community seems to be very hopeful with the Embracer group that maybe they can like breathe some new life back into the series.
Yeah. Especially, well, also they bought Deus Ex.
Mm-hmm.
They bought Legacy of Kain, which made Evan very, very happy.
Yeah.
Because maybe something will be done, especially that not much later, people, I think it was like one of the directors of Embracer Group said that they are very excited to try to revive some of the old IPs and give it some love, because they were fans of them. So there's hope for maybe Tomb Raider. There might be hope for a new Thief. Chloe would be happy. There might be a chance for Legacy of Kain. Ebay would be happy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's
we
one
shall
thing
see.
I hate, it's companies and people owning popular IPs
And doing nothing with it.
doing nothing with them.
EA.
Konami.
All of them.
Yeah.
It's just like, yes, it's fine releasing one version of an IP. Like, I've made this thing, release.
Yeah.
And if that's designed to be one release, fine. But if you make a series that gets popular, and then you just go, I'm just going to put this over here now, and I'm going to sit on it, and nobody else can make a game.
Not only that, but like being very stagnant with it. I mean, like I say, we've not even had a re-release of Metal Gear Solid 4 beyond the PS3's release. You could, if you want to play Metal Gear Solid 4, you have to buy a PS3. You cannot play it any other way, and that's crazy.
Yeah, man. I mean, the Metal Gear Solid 3, which in my opinion is the better game, is only available on PlayStation, the remastered versions, and 3DS. I want to be able to play it. I have 1 and 2 on PC.
I mean, they ported Snake Eater to Xbox. Surely they should be able to put it. I would be totally down for like an Metal Gear Solid collection released on PC.
Yeah.
Even if it's not like a remaster, just get some control, recode some things in here and there.
I guess we would just need Embracer Group to come into discussions with Konami. Maybe they would convince them to sell that.
I don't see Konami.
Pull my hard drive out of my old PC and get my Metal Gear Solid 2 save files.
Yeah.
I don't see Konami folding under that, but we'll see.
No, they've not decided to do anything with that. It's like, do you want to do anything with those IPs? No. Would you at least sell it?
No. If we sell them, we can't make pachinko machines.
I'm still bitter that EA holds like Dungeon Keeper license, stuff like that.
The Command and Conquer license.
Yeah.
I would, and this is not EA, but like, I want another black and white game. I love that God game. I love 2, and it's just like, nah.
Yeah. Especially that there's not been many good games recently.
No, it's kind of like it's a genre that really has fallen out. And a lot of games that are generally considered PC exclusive because of their control schemes, like God games, like simulators and things, have kind of been relegated. We've started to see a bit of a renaissance, like 2 Point Hospital and 2 Point Campus, but hopefully we can start to kind of see more. The problem is, I think a lot of these games are trying to think about where they exist in the modern market. For example, Command and Conquer. I can see that. I can hear from here the ticking of EA's cogs, thinking, "How can we monetize Command and Conquer?"
Stop monetizing every goddamn game you have.
Like, sure we can sell it, but how do we monetize Command and Conquer?
Please. please just understand you're already monetizing your game by selling it to us.
But that's not enough.
Give me a new Command and Conquer. Make Command and Conquer Generals 2.
But that doesn't give them all the money.
All the money.
I don't give a shit,
Yeah,
because if
but-
they keep doing that, they won't get any money because nobody's going to buy from them.
Yeah.
I mean, I could honestly see if they went down the route of having like, because of course the game market has moved on. We used to have expansion packs, now we have DLC. I could see them like saying, okay, we're going to make Command and Conquer, and we're going to have like a subscription service where, as you as you pay, as we release content, you just get it.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I could see them trying to potentially doing that. I don't like it. Like I've always, one of the things, the live service model where you pay monthly for a game, the only thing I think it's really worked, I think they really work well with, in my opinion, is The Sims, because people drop in and out of The Sims all the time. I could see that being a good subscription-based game, but it's just not. It's not built for that at this time. And again, people say, well, why are you encouraging this? Look, companies are going to try and do this. You know, the best we can do is try and find ways to make it work for them, and that makes sense rather than military shooters that, because they're trying to do it to all sorts of games that really doesn't work with.
Nope.
Yeah. Okay, but so let's get back to Brexit, because that was May. But in August we got first on 18th of August there were 3 announcements, and then not long later there was another one. So because the Embracer Group seems to be publishing their news in sort of batches on certain days, so they announced quite a few things. So first of all, there was an announcement that they are acquiring Tripwire Interactive, which is a company, which is a studio that created Killing Floor series and created a Man Eater, a very nice game about lovely fish that goes blub blub. And also last year, Blunder, the CEO, who was tweeting as from the.
Let's not link that studio to the CEO, who is thankfully gone now.
Yeah. Yes, he's gone, thankfully, but the studio is going to be now under the Embracer Group umbrella as well. So then they also announced that they're acquiring Limited Run Games. That is not really a development studio, but that's a publisher of collector series. They contact all kinds of companies that have strong brands of video games, and they get into an agreement to create a sort of limited collector editions of the games. They, for example, have created last year really amazing Monkey Island anthology, having everything that's been so far released, so all five Monkey Island games, with a book with all the development stories from the people involved in making all kinds of things, like hold on.
Oh no!
It's going to get it.
Yes. The candle holder of the most iconic character, Murray. There's also a few other. There's Guybrush Threepwood in his Monkey Island 2 LeChuck's Revenge garb, holding a rubber chicken with a pulley in the middle.
Of course.
There's a Disc 22 that is involved in the most infamous joke that caused LucasArts helpline to be infested by people calling for the Disc 22, and all kinds of, because the game, there was one element that if you wanted to interact with it, the game requested to put in Disc 22, then 36, then 130 something. And that was, of course, a joke, but some people didn't get a joke and were asking why they don't have this disc in the that they bought. So all kinds of funny things like that. And this is a really, really interesting concept that the limited run games had. And
it's just a reference to floppy disks.
yes, They-
Takes me back to
yeah.
SimCity 2000 on 12
Yeah.
floppy disks.
So
Yeah,
it sounds like the Embracer Group are making moves.
Yeah, they're making a lot of moves. Another move that they announced, which is also just sort of tangentially connected to video games, is they have acquired Middle Earth Enterprises, which is a company, a division of Saul Zaent's company, which holds rights to certain elements of literary works of J.R.R. Tolkien, specifically to The Lord of the Rings and Hobbit. They have rights to certain names, they have rights to certain places, they have rights to certain events that happen in those books. So it feels like there might be games coming from some Embracer Group studios that are based on Tolkien's Legendarium, which would very interestingly coincide with the Legends of the Rings of Power show on Amazon that I feel it's gonna flop. So Embracer Group wants, I mean, not flop. Sorry, not flop. It's gonna flop. So Embracer Group is gonna have something in a consolation prize. Or I have another theory. That's just my theory, a game theory, that they want to acquire a really great German point and click game studio called Daedalic Entertainment. That's also a publisher of various games. And one of the games that they're making currently is Lord of the Rings Golem. And I feel like they might have to have the rights to Lord of the Rings to purchase this company.
Might be worth.
So that's
probably a good
my
idea.
alternate theory.
I worry about Gollum because it feels like that game's going out to die.
Yeah, it does feel like it.
I worry about Golem as well because it was promising when it was announced originally, and now it looks a bit meh.
It doesn't look good now.
But
and also they've been it's one of those games where it goes silent and they show us very little, and it's like you're getting very close to your release date and we're not seeing a lot. You know,
it's kind of like what they did with Forspoken, which they didn't until recently, when they put like a 10-minute video that it looks a bit interesting and a bit meh. It's a mixed bag.
I like Forspoken. To be fair, every time that came up in the previous like events, we're like, what is that? Go back to that game. Go back to that game. You know,
rewind that.
But no, Square Enix wanted to talk about Final Fantasy for 20 minutes. You know,
we'll just fuck Final Fantasy again for like half an hour.
I still am interested in Golem, and I still want to see what comes out of this game. I want to try the pudding and see what truth is in that.
No, the proof will D&D be in the pudding. Is that all sound the matter?
No, there's one more announcement that they had. Because do you remember that KOTOR is being remade?
Yes.
So it was being remade by a company called Aspire that has already done various ports of Star Wars games for other devices. They did a port of KOTOR and KOTOR 2. They did a remake of Star Wars Racer. They did a remake of Force Unleashed. No remake.
Just to correct you, ports of those games.
Ports, sorry. Yes, ports. I fixated on the word remake for no reason. Sorry.
There are many games that need a remake.
Yeah, those are games that need a remake, and they were doing ports of those to PC or to Switch. So they've not done a really good job with those, according to some people from Scarf's Discord server that have been very invested and very interested in those.
Put it this way, music's been missing for key scenes, and it's like, oh no.
That's such a simple fix as well. That, you know, it's a triggering of music file. I don't see why that. It's such a simple thing.
A lot of sound effects that were not key in key scenes. They also were sort of missing from those ports. So apparently, Embracer Group and the stakeholders in the project from Sony and from Disney were not happy with the progress that Aspire was doing. So they decided and they announced that the whole project will be moved from Aspire and will be moved to a Saber Interactive studio somewhere
Okay.
in Eastern Europe. And that news makes me very, very worried for two reasons. So one reason is that there's gonna be delays and there's gonna be problems with moving those assets, with moving the workload, with moving the details about like what has been done, how far the progress is, and what kind of progress that is. The new studios will have to assess what has been done, what has to be redone from the things that are done, what still has to be done to that. So of course there will be delays, even though the the group announces that they don't expect delays. Of course they do.
Of course
They
they do.
just
Yeah.
there's obviously going to be delays. So that's one problem. But the other problem that especially touches me is we're not sure what they mean by Saber Interactive because they have two entities under the Embracer Group called Saber Interactive. One is the studio itself, and the other is the controlling group that's called Saber Interactive, and it involves a lot of studios that are located in Europe, all around Europe, and America, and some parts of Asia. And if they mean that they give it to a studio that is part of the control group, Saber Interactive, that might mean that that place might be in Tallinn, Estonia, or it might be in Budapest, Hungary, or it might be in Sofia, Bulgaria, because they have the Saber Interactive has studios there. But the problem is if they have they mean the Saber Interactive studio itself, not the control group. The Saber Interactive has only two offices, two branches in Eastern Europe. One is in Minsk, Belarus. The other is in St. Petersburg, Russia. And I hope there's gonna be if it turns out that it's one of those studios, I'm not fucking touching this game with a long pole.
Yeah, if it's one of those, I'm not.
A lot of people is gonna boycott this because I'm not sponsoring the tyrannical, horrible regime of Putin and his bestial genocide in Ukraine. My 10% of my country right now are refugees from Ukraine from that war. So they're gonna see their own ass before they see my money. If it's one of the Russian offices that do that game.
Hopefully it's not.
Yeah,
I really hope. I pray to God it's not.
Yeah,
I hope it's one
would-
of those other studios.
Yeah, I would be extremely doubtful if it was. I would be extremely doubtful if it went.
That's
to
almost
Russia
like
especially.
asking for trouble, I think.
Yeah. I don't think they would do that. I think there might be rules against even like taking stuff in there now because they wouldn't be able to get paid now, would they? They wouldn't be able to get money because most of the usual ways
Well,
for
I
Russia
mean
to get stuff
that
is now.
that depends because that also depends how the finances are dealt because it might be that all the finances are dealt through other countries.
Example
But
of
they
this.
still would have to pay tax. They still would have to pay taxes in Russia.
Example on this.
Yeah.
Battle State.
Tarkov.
The company that makes Escape
Yeah,
from
Tarkov.
Tarkov. Arguably my favorite game. I have over 5,500 hours in that game. Russian developer. I don't want to be giving Russia any, more revenue than it already has. But I've already paid for my game. They only asked for one payment. Good on them. But they're based for tax purposes in London.
Okay, yeah.
So all of their pays, all of their payments, all of their wages, everything goes through their London office. The question is, where are those studios based?
Yeah, we don't know that. It's not been disclosed, especially that the news about it moving to Saber Interactive Studio somewhere in Eastern Europe, that is a leak from someone in the Embracer group that didn't want to disclose anything else, because that's not really an official information. The only official information is that it is being moved.
Mhm.
That the
Well-
KOTOR is being moved from Aspire.
We'll see
Yeah,
where it. Go on.
Yeah, I would be concerned if it gets into Russia because if I remember correctly, they are really struggling when it comes to technology imports now. Because they can't
Yep.
buy they can't import anything into the country, so they're having to go outside, buy stock, and then go back in. But the problem is because they're doing that, because Russia uses Cyrillic keyboards. Well, the thing is, the keyboards they're buying outside are English keyboards,
Yeah.
QWERTY keyboards, and
Yeah.
apparently there's quite a dearth of people who know how to type on the
Well,
usual on the QWERTY keyboard. So
I mean,
there's
yeah.
problems there as well.
Although the thing is, the programmers, coders, designers, people who work with international software, they usually use just the international QWERTY keyboards.
Yeah,
Because
Mm.
all the-
fair enough. But
It's still a factor.
It's hurting like civil servants higher up who
yeah,
might not have those skills.
true.
And the
Yes.
people who do have those skills are kind of booking it the fuck out of them.
Wow. So yeah, that is. Thanks for the update on the Racer Group. We're looking to keep an eye on how things progress through that. The final piece of news article, which we're going to go to. I know we're giving the news a bit. News going on a bit today. It is what it is. It's the last thing I'm going to finish off of, and that is the proms. The BBC actually held their first ever gaming proms early on in the month, which you can view now on you can actually go right now. You shouldn't go right now, but you should. But after the show, go and actually watch it on BBC iPlayer if you're in the UK, or I'm not sure how you'd do it outside the UK, but probably on a similar device, which had the proms, of course, is the thing that BBC does every year. They do it for films. They do it for.
No VPN company is sponsoring us, so we don't suggest anything.
Yeah, I mean, as just a suggestion. I mean, you don't have to.
Yeah.
But the
VPN or Surfshark, please sponsor us.
this was the first time where we've had a gaming prom where the focus on the music being played was gaming music or music inspired by gaming. And I actually watched the concert. It was a very lovely concert. A lot of the games actually were very new to me. Which was unexpected. I expected to hear. There are songs in there which I did hear that I expected to hear, but a few things that I wouldn't expect. For example, there were commissions commissioned by the composer. Loading Kronos was one of them. Was for the first of two commissioned pieces of the concert, which is the melody of Kronos, which was, I think, a single bit piece of music that they basically made into an orchestral piece. A very interesting adaptation. They also took the three soundtracks from Pokemon Red, Blue, Echo the Dolphin, and The Secret of Mana, and recompiled that into a new piece of music to kind of honor those three games, like for a 90s nostalgia. They, of course, had music from the debut music from Battlefield 2042, which you may think, oof, but actually was quite interesting to see, like, weird instruments being used to create like a very oppressive kind of piece of music.
One of the few good things that is associated with that game.
Yes.
I mean, looking down this list, I'm looking that they also did music from Kingdom Hearts.
They did Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy VII, The Legend of Zelda, the overture.
One of
The
the
Legend of Zelda.
musicians involved in that piece specifically, Hikaru Utada. Massive shout out to them.
Yeah.
They also did the music. She solo did the music, a few tracks for each of the rebuild of Evangelion anime movies.
Yes.
So,
Oh wow. Oh, I'm pretty sure that one of the composers for Kingdom Hearts did the final boss music for some of the Mario and Luigi games, specifically Partners in Time and Bowser's Inside Story.
Yeah, I mean, I went in I went in expecting Pokemon. I did not expect Pokemon to be mixed in with Echo the Dolphin, and it was fantastic to see. Like, and these were original songs that they basically, they took the original ideas of the songs and like melodied them into each other, which was very fascinating to see. And it was quite fascinating to see the the transformation of those pieces from that perspective. I mean, we've got Mindwipe in the chat, who is a musician. I'd be quite fascinated to see if he's seen it, to get his opinion on that Proms. But yeah, I mean, I went in expecting to think, oh yeah, we'll hear the Legend of Zelda overture and and all this and that, like the classics. I didn't expect to have loading Kronos in there, or and yes, Final Fantasy VII didn't expect to have Echo the Dolphin. It was nice to have like ones you expect and the ones you didn't expect, which is very, very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
Nice that the nice that the video gaming world is finally getting represented for what it's good at.
And that very much was the theme of the talk before the show. It was nice to have video games being recognized as having good music in them.
Because the last time a piece of music won a BAFTA award was Baba Yetu by his name is Christopher Tin, which was the intro music for Civilization 4.
Yep.
I cannot remember what year that was, but it's about a decade ago.
It was a long, long time ago.
It was a long, long time ago.
If I remember correctly, didn't Leonard Nimoy load his voice in that game?
Yes, he
Yes.
was.
He was the narrator.
Yeah.
And I remember him doing. If you research the technology satellites, he could be heard going beep beep Sputnik. Sputnik 1, and it's so good because he says it like completely flatly, but there's just that little hint to
like our wonderful friend Divot with his amazing take on Ola the
Orca. Tweet. Check out Silly Voices Saturday every Saturday at on this channel.
not this Saturday.
Not this Saturday. We're off this Saturday.
Oh,
yeah. But yeah, so that was the news. Now let's get on to what is the main topic of today's kind of show. Which there's a lot to discuss, but also it's more going to be like from a personal perspective, from the window of us, as it were.
Yeah, I just want to update. It wasn't a BAFTA that Baba Yetu won. It was a Grammy Award, and it won it in 2000 and I think it was 2009. No, 2011.
There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gamescom was this past week, and naturally with it being Gamescom, there were some quite new announcements that went on, and in fact, Shadowbear and I spent one of the evenings actually watching the opening ceremonies. 2 evenings, yes, because we actually watched another show which was hosted by
it was the Future Gaming Show.
Future Gaming Show, which was hosted by Christopher Judge and I can't remember her name.
She voiced Freya.
Yeah,
God of War.
I still so bad. Something like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember. But yeah, by Kratos and Freya from God of War.
Yes. And it was one of those things where there wasn't a lot of really new stuff announced. It was mostly just kind of touch base.
Yeah, I think we can both agree. I think we can all agree it wasn't like very big and bombastic.
No.
Like nothing really wowed us, but there was like I think especially with like the AAA games, there was nothing there that really like broke anything except for maybe Cypher P. But
yes.
But everything else, I thought were like little indie games that I quite liked that didn't really come into the opening ceremony. But I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of cute. That's kind of cute.
There were a few AAA things that wowed me initially, and then brought me back to disappointment at the very end.
So, do we have? Go on. No, go on.
I'm talking, for example, about Dune Awakening. That was one of the first games that was shown.
Yes.
Where it looked amazing, and it felt amazing, and at the end
like,
they said,
open world survival. We were like,
MMO.
Yeah, MMO.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I was referencing the Sandworm, because like that guy was the hook.
I'm trying to find like the breakdown of like some things announced because I'm not.
I can give you the link to like the games list if you want.
I've been a Dune fan for decades. Why does it have to be an MMO?
Yeah, I felt the same. It's like, why have you done this to me?
I again don't feel like It was one of the things where I'm going to open this and we're going to crash. I hope we're not.
Well, there is the RTS that's coming out soon.
Yeah.
The
Jim
guys who
Spice
did
Wars.
North. Yeah. So that's good. It's an MMO. No, it's not. Well, there is an MMO now, but there is an RTS at least. Yay!
Yeah, there's that. I mean, I was very interested by Life of P. The whole idea of it being a Pinocchio inspired thing
That
looks really
so-
good.
That looks so cool.
Yeah.
Jedi Survivor is apparently what Mindwipe's looking forward to. I'm also looking forward to that. And also, I'm not surprised this is not a lot of announcements. E3, like middle of the year, tends to be when we start to get announcements, along with the end of the year at the Game Awards. We're kind of smack bang in between them. So I'm not surprised that this is more of a, hey, here's what's happening, rather.
Yeah.
It's the sort of period that is in many countries called a cucumber season.
Yes. Nothing much going on.
Yeah, at least I think at least you would get like, if not indie games, we get some AA games sort of like crawling out and saying, "Hey,
Yeah.
we're here." kind
Yeah.
of thing. And I
We look
quite-
good.
I quite like that because
Yeah.
you need, because little indie games are fine and the big AAA games are fine, but we also need the little ones in between. Like,
Yeah, of course. The big announcement was Dead Island 2, which has a heartbeat, ironically. Which
After 8 freaking years.
I'm not too big on Dead Island 2, but I'm glad that people are excited about its return. I can only be glad for people at that point. I was more interested with the fact that we got more information on Sonic Frontiers, which actually is looking to be fairly. I like what I'm seeing. I like what I'm seeing.
It
I
looks
feel
fairly
like-
Sonic-like.
yeah, I feel much better about it. There's still some like empty spots in the overworld, but it's starting to look populated. There looks to be things going on now, and I'm like, okay, I'm starting to vibe with this now. Looking better.
There was the
And Telltale Games seems to have resurrected itself.
from the
Yeah,
grave, it seems.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
the
a-
Expanse.
Like a
Very-
walker from The
From
Walking
Borderlands.
Dead. Yeah, Tales of the Borderlands 2.
Yeah.
and that too. Yes, I forgot about that.
What else do we have? Liza P, which we talked about before, looks amazing. System Shock, the remake, very, very interesting to see.
I really
Yeah.
liked the mash of polygons and pixels
Yes,
together.
yes.
That looked really nice.
It looks great. And
Mhm.
the interface and the controls are really amazing. I've played the demo and I was really drawn into this world. I can't wait for this game. It's gonna be awesome.
Anything you've seen, Lemming, coming out of Gamescom? That you...
Yes, I would be remiss as a Warhammer 40k fan
Oh, yeah.
to not mention Darkside. Well, Dark
Yes.
Tide.
Tide,
Dark
yes.
Tide.
When we saw that, we were like, "Damn it, Lemming should be here."
Yeah, I want it to be out already. I want to play that game because it looks like the Warhammer 40k shooter I've been looking for decades.
In Metroidvania news, the Last Tale of Benedict Fox, or Last Case of Benedict Fox, and the Siege of the Sand Fox look very interesting.
There looks to be a lot of Metroidvanias this year.
It looks to be that the Metroidvanias are the in this year, which is very pleased about.
Possibly.
Ella's eating well.
Yeah.
Ella's eating well this year.
Possibly Phantom Hellcat might be a Metroidvania, but we don't know yet. It's a really weird mesh of 2.5D and 3D game.
Mm-hmm. And another little surprise throw in here. Who likes their 1980s B-real horror movies?
Oh yes, the fucking clown game that came out.
Killer
Oh,
Clowns from
yes.
Outer Space.
Everyone's like, where did that
Yeah, the
come
killer
from?
clown
That
from
was
outer
it.
What
space.
the hell?
I'm like, what the?
Yeah, it's a movie that's almost as old as I am. It
No,
came out in 1988.
I know that I've seen it, and I was like, why?
I mean,
Who was asking for this?
it feels like they want to do to a horror genre what Blood Dragon did to FPSs.
Yeah.
And they're doing a good job.
Have like that
Either way, I'll try it.
that dark comedy twist on things. Yeah.
I'll try it, having a ray gun that turns people into like bloody cotton candy. It's like, I'll give it a shot.
Oh, well, it's worth a go. I mean, it's not like anybody had that on their bingo cards.
Yeah.
Hogwarts Legacy also got a trailer for the dark art stuff. I know. Yeah, I mean,
This is going to be a controversial game.
This is going to be a controversial game, which I've already talked to my friends about, and I'm quite pleased of what I've been talking about with them, which is good. Because I'm most likely, I'm most likely to pick it up. Jury's still out, but we'll see. But yeah,
It was
looks good.
great. Like, yeah, you're excited for Hogwarts Legacy, and I was excited for a game that was announced. A date was announced for Return to Monkey Island.
Yes, Return to Monkey Island.
I know it's
With
gonna
horse-
be. It's
with
gonna be
horse
released in Attack Like a Pirate Day.
Yeah,
It's September the 19th.
with
This
horse
is-
armor DLC.
With Horse Armor
Next
DLC.
month.
Yeah, it's next month. And if you pre-order, you get a Horse Armor DLC.
Which is
Of course
completely,
you do.
which is completely pointless from a puzzle perspective, but you can still show it to people. So you'll get probably this like unique dialogue
Yeah,
in there.
I'm gonna show it like Phoenix Wright shows his badge.
Alone in the Dark was also announced just before the event, which we had a bit more news on that as well. I'm looking forward to see how the originator of like Resident Evil horror is going to basically adapt and learn from years of evolution from not being around. It's going to be very interesting to see how that game evolves.
Yeah.
And that really is it in terms of what I was looking forward to. It was a fairly simplistic kind of event for me. There was a lot there that was like, yeah, it looks interesting, just not for me, you know. But yeah, I was quite pleased. I wasn't underwhelmed, I wasn't overwhelmed. It was just simply, it was a good show.
We were all well.
We were just
You were well.
whelmed.
Yeah,
We were well.
and
Although
Jeff Jeff Keighley did a masterful job presenting it as normal.
Yeah. Although it was really fucking funny when he was like, "Who's a fan of Justin Roiland?" Silence.
Mm-hmm.
He was
And then
like,
one voice in the back just like, who?
And I'm like, I'm sitting there being like, oh, Jeff, you should know how this works by now. Never ask the audience a question when you're expecting an answer because you won't get an answer.
Especially
Yeah.
especially don't ask about being a fan of someone who's associated with people doing tantrums in McDonald's and doing the wabba labba dub dub.
yeah, I
Or
can't.
just like, don't shout out a question to a room full of nerds because they'll all just go.
Mm.
Yeah. Also, what was it? Drunk on Life or whatever it was called.
High on life, yeah.
High on Life. Yeah, that was.
No. Yeah, no.
I've like my younger self has written fan fiction dialogue that was less cringe.
Is that the one with the living gun?
Yes.
Yeah, I have to admit, I do find the knife funny, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Rick and Morty doing Rick
Yeah.
and Morty things.
Yeah.
And that's
Just without it being Rick and Morty.
Ooh,
and,
it
ju-
was
and also Justin Roiland seems to be the one of the two creators that is less talented.
Also, guys, did you know they're making a Homeworld 3?
Oh yeah, they're making Homeworld
really?
3. You know.
You don't say.
Sorry.
We're dragging this poor meme through the streets at the moment.
Yes. Oh yeah. Funny.
Oh, you killed Levig. Oh, he's back. Also, I have discovered something
Go on.
in the GamesCon sort of games thing. There is an announcement
Mm-hmm.
of Smurfs Kart.
There is, yes.
Oh no.
Yeah. I don't know why, but it's there.
Okay, so
Well, that's a thing
that's a thing. There's also an asterisk.
that we're all going to play at some point.
There's also an Asterix and Obelix game in there as well.
Yeah, but we don't talk about that. We
Okay.
don't talk about the Asterix and Obelix game because it's based on the third. It's based on the third game, and the third game is crap.
Oh.
I played it on the Switch. It's just not good.
You're gonna say Lemming?
Oh no, I wasn't going to say anything. I was just looking at my gun. Like, why is everything slowing down? Everything getting. Oh yeah, Steam started downloading things.
Damn it,
Stop it, Steam.
And yes, Mindwipe. There is a Homeworld 3 being made. The reason we mean there is because whenever they announced it, which I think was like last E3,
Yeah,
every
it was
like
last E3.
every 15 minutes they had like a small like 1 minute like thing about Homeworld 3.
Oh yeah, do you remember how good the first and second homeworlds were? Did you know we're making a homeworld 3?
Basically, to the point that it became very obnoxious. So the joke between us became, do you know they're making Homeworld 3? And then of course they had one actual trailer, which I have to say the trailer they presented was quite interesting, presenting like the gameplay loop as like a story that the person's playing told. Very interesting.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't really see much that I was that interested in for Gamescom. I probably am. I'm looking into Floodland, which is basically this is what's going to happen to the Earth. Well, basically, it's like global warming has fucked us. Like,
Yes, I know, but what about the game?
yeah, but it's the logical conclusion of that. And basically, you are you're trying to gather survivors together and keep them alive from the same people, from some of the ex devs of people who made This War Is Mine. So it's going to be I also like the look of Stranded Alien Dawn, which is basically you crashed on an alien planet, survive. And I'm like, okay, cool.
There was also the Great Wall Western Front, which looked to be a good like RTS coming out, which I thought looked quite interesting.
Based on First World War. I'm not going to get it myself, but Park Beyond really caught my attention.
Yes.
It was basically like, but what if we made a theme park? But instead of like making it really realistic, what if we just went fucking balls to the walls crazy with it? You know what? I'm on with.
You want the roller coaster to enter a cannon, which then shoots the cars over to another rail? Space. Sure, why not? You know.
There was a pretty interesting RTS that the RTS aspect wasn't really shown yet, but probably they don't have much of it. A pirate-themed strategy game called Tortuga.
Yes,
Tortuga.
Yeah.
Nice.
That might be if we find out a bit more, I might be interested. There's been quite a few also games that looked like Souls-likes, other than Lies of P. There was like
the one with the light that has tentacles.
Yeah.
Lords of the Fallen. That was it.
One was Lords of the Fallen. There was the Scars Above that possibly was a Souls-like as well. There was a few like interactive stories too. David Cage is making one game.
Oh yeah, I'm interested.
Under the Waves.
Under the Waves, yes.
Yeah. And then there's another When Dusk Falls, I think it's called. No, When Dusk Falls is something that's being released soon. Where Winds Meet, sorry. Which this is a sort of also that kind of game. So there's been a few interesting games, but we'll have to wait for what else they're gonna show.
There's
teasers.
There's one game at Gamescom that we haven't mentioned yet that at least two of us should be aware of, and that is AEW Fight Forever.
That's true. I've not seen much of that. It is a wrestling game. I've not seen anything about it though.
Apparently, it plays a lot like WWF No Mercy, which was kind of their heyday of classic WWF games.
I've always preferred simulation to arcade though when it comes to wrestling games, so I'm not sure if that'll work. But then,
I think I'm on the other side.
Which that's fair. That's fair. It's just differences of opinions. As simple as that. Yeah, I don't know. What I'm surprised they didn't mention of is there's the that wasn't at Gamescom, and that's Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed. That game which we're all getting and gonna be playing.
Yeah. So let's make also quick mentions of things that weren't games, really, like Pokemon Car.
The Pokemon Car. Yeah, I'm sorry. What?
It was like, you can play Pokemon on it. It's just like, but I'm supposed to be driving.
I'm supposed to be driving. It's a kid. Beep beep. It's.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest. I didn't really know that Gamescom was happening until another friend of mine who was actually there posted on the channel with him one of the stalls in the trader area. It was a stall full of Daki
yes.
Macaras.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I remember you showing
Yeah.
me. I mean,
Like, why? Because you're a weeb. Get over it. It's like, I don't even own one. But okay.
I don't want one, but I also don't want to get over it.
Yeah, there were apparently lots and lots of cosplayers, which nice.
I'll definitely. But I also wanted to mention that Mr. Genius Kojimbo was also announcing
oh
that he's gonna have a podcast.
Yeah,
yeah. You got your you got your hopes up so much, Al.
I did. I was thinking, oh, Metal Gear Solid remake, Metal Gear Solid remake, please.
Podcast.
Oh. I mean, the fact he's making a podcast in itself is crazy. Also, yes, Monument says, still looking forward to Flashback 2, not the God of Crap Fest that was Fade to Black. This looks promising. Yeah, that was at Summer Games Fest. That does look quite interesting. Yeah. I don't know if there's much else we can discuss really about games.
Yeah, there was the game that was Everything Everywhere All at Once or something like that.
Oh yes, this whole kind of metaverse. It's not the metaverse.
Yes.
It's not the metaverse. It's just a world.
It was a something metaverse. Yes.
It's very rudimentary, very early days. Didn't have very much. There was so much going on that it's hard to actually you can't really define it.
No idea what that is.
I must admit, when I saw it, all my NFT cryptocurrency alarm bells were going off all at the same time. They're like, whoop whoop, bad shit here, and I'm like,
Initially, I was thinking that it might be something like Dreams on. I think it was on PS4. There was like this engine to create mini games.
Yeah,
it was really ingenious, and people were creating really amazing things.
Net the Rose or something like that.
Yeah.
For the PS1, PS2.
I can't remember. All I know is that Dreams was a thing where you could make your own games.
So I was thinking this might be the same thing, but we just don't know. They didn't tell us anything.
Yeah,
it was like it's going to be everything, and it's just like
that tells us nothing.
Yeah. When something is everything, it's just nothing.
Yeah, it was very.
It's one of those ones where it's like, make your own fun. It's just like, no, that's why I bought the game. I wanted you to make the thing to allow me to have fun.
Why do I need your thing to make my own fun?
This is why I never got into Minecraft, because I'm like, it's like, do whatever. I'm like, but I can't just do whatever. I need something. I need structure, you know.
Yeah, like, I'm gonna go on a quick rant. I really fucking hate it now when people are like, this is especially a thing in MMOs, but it happens in other games as well, where it's like, oh yeah, you can make your own fun. The player could do whatever they want. It's just like, all right, then I want this game to be a fucking kart racer. Oh wait, I can't, because you didn't program the game to allow me to do that. So I can't make my own fun. I can't do whatever I want.
I guess
stop saying that.
So your argument is invalid. I want a dating sim cross car racer.
Yeah.
I want a game that was crafted and made by a professional game developer that is a cohesive game that I can play for the money I've spent on it.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I really hate about it. It smacks to me so much of developers just like, we just really
use your own creativity.
It's like we can't really be asked to give you a core gameplay. You just do whatever. It's just like,
do it.
I'm paying you God knows how much. Well, at the moment, God knows how much in order for you to make this game. I don't want you to just shit out some stuff that, me personally, I have I'm broken inside my head, so I get enjoyment out of playing the cat game, the kittens game on browser where I see numbers go up. And I paid exactly nothing. So, if you're not going to give me a curated experience with something good to do, then I'm just going to fuck off and play a free browser game.
Yeah.
Argue with that.
I'm gonna play more Melvor. What is a Melvor game?
Melvor Idol, yeah.
Melvor Idol, yeah.
I had to pay for that though, so.
And kill some more chickens.
Yeah, I'll just collect more waifus in Azure Lane. Thanks very much.
I also want to point out bring up a Gamescom. The horror genre seems to be very in this year.
Oh yeah.
We have the Callisto Protocol. We have the Dead Space remake. We have Alone in the Dark. We have, of course, Resident Evil 8. That is pretty much confirmed that it's coming to PS VR 2, which is like, okay, that's gonna be a thing.
Yes, it's already it's coming to PC VR, I think, as well. So with mods, it's gonna be just boob fest galore.
Yeah, a lot of kind of horror kind of genres coming out this year. Not that I'm upset about that. I've kind of grown to actually quite appreciate the horror genre. But we'll see. Really, yeah, a lot of Gamescom was some interesting stuff going on. There is some stuff coming out in the next few days that we're going to be talking about in the next podcast. Like, again, next time we talk about remakes, remasters again, because of course the whole in a couple of days' time and is released The Last of Us Part 1, and there's a bit of discussion about whether it deserved a remake and such, and that's going to be the topic for next time. Does anyone else have anything else to close? Yeah, go on.
I'm just gonna say, like, I feel so sorry about Sonic Frontiers coming out the day before God of War Ragnarok.
God of War Ragnarok. That is the one thing I'm like. It's like that was
a very unfortunate decision.
Yeah, it's like so, and I'm like, they're not even changing it. They're sticking to that. I'm like, guys, you seriously think you can compete with God of War Ragnarok?
You can't. You honestly can't. Oh Lord. And also, like, has anybody even gotten the new Saints Row game? Because that just fucking disappeared off my feed.
Not me.
Yeah, I mean,
I did see that its release has not been the best.
Not be the best.
I have sad news. The reviews are saying that this game is terrifyingly mediocre.
Which is unfortunate. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, it all went like. What was the last announcement? I think it was the announcement of like the Boss Factory, and then it just went very quiet. Yes. It went like completely silent, and then it's just sort of come out with a whimper rather than a bang, which is a shame, actually.
Yeah.
It has to be quite an unfortunate launch for that game, and I feel like the Last of Us Part 1 is going to be a bit of a sad launch. I think Sony are going to realize, oh, we've not sold as many of that as we wanted to. Which, I mean, there's a lot of people saying that it doesn't deserve a remake. We'll get into that whole talk next time, because there's some. I've actually reconsidered my opinion on that a lot since then. I think it'd be interesting to kind of go into that once, because I'm actually hoping I'm gonna be one of the saps that buys it, and we'll have a look at it. Yeah. Right then, so I think that's going to be it for today's episode of the podcast. Is there anything else anyone wants to finish off with?
I got nothing, man.
Nah.
All right then.
I just wanted to praise Gamescom for those shows that we watched for having a formula that we enjoy, which is almost no bullshit, almost no talking, almost no like talking points and buzzwords and interviews, and trailer after trailer.
I will say that
we're keeping it short. When we do have talking.
That's what I liked about that. In the show we watched on Monday, it was a 2-hour show. I feel like 1-hour shows are okay, but what if once you kind of get 2 hours and above, you've got to start to make sure you're not just wasting my time, because if you like put fluff in there, I'm like, you're just wasting your time to fill out that 2-hour slot. But no, it was Jeff introducing game, Jeff, quick chat with the developer, probably about 2 minutes long, next game, it's
suddenly a car, and they're like, okay, something else.
I'm looking forward to the Games Awards, because that's when the next time we'll see Keely at the event are. I'm not sure it's the next actual gaming event that's out. I might be mistaken, but I think it is definitely the largest next gaming event, and most likely we'll see some more premieres.
So
I can't think of any like big ones, except for maybe PAX.
I want to make a bet though for the Games Award.
Go on.
20 quid says Stray's gonna be the game of the year.
I'm not taking that bet.
No, I'm not taking that bet.
That's not happening.
I know how popular that game was.
Is this how you get all your money?
It must be. Sometimes people just want to be a little kitty, just a little guy,
Yeah.
just a little kitty cat.
I've barely played any of it, and I love it.
Why?
I know
Do
it's
it.
it's because I'm kind of I'm stuck in the mindset of Cyberpunk, and I feel like if I'm gonna play Stray, I want to dive fully in and start to finish, and not
Okay.
like pick up and finish.
That's
You know,
fair. That's
I
fair. Yeah.
see. Well, I am kind of completely opposite. I need to take a break from one game by playing another game.
that's fair.
I would just like to play some of the games that I've installed on my PC. Please, God.
Yeah.
Please, brain. Why are you doing
Yeah.
this to me?
I-
Installing games did not count as
The
playing
woman-
them. Why?
The woman needs disk space, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, if somebody if Evac says, "Hey, are we gonna play CFDs?" I'm gonna be like, "Well, I'm just gonna have to reinstall. I'm just gonna have to uninstall everything and reinstall
I
it."
mean,
You
I'm
know,
looking at my
Ah.
system now, and my C drive, which is 2 terabytes, has 100 gig left on it. My E drive,
you
which is 1 terabyte, has 90 gig
see
left
that
on it.
face? I see that face.
Like, maybe I should get rid of some of the games I don't play.
because I was thinking we should play CFD again sometime soon.
They have this new patch. They have the boat names now. No.
Look, L. It's gonna take 82. It's 82 gigs, and I only have 70 left. Why would you do this?
I thought there was a discussion about us getting you a bigger hard drive at some point in our life.
Yeah.
You didn't remember any of that.
We need to get a 2 terabyte SSD stat.
Yes.
Am I gonna open like the airing cabinet at some point and you just be like, here you go. I still haven't plugged in the Elgato. I still haven't even done that.
Oh dear.
Stop.
Any final thoughts, Burr?
Well, now my head is empty.
Any final thoughts, Shadow?
No. Oh, me to shoot, I think.
Oh yeah, I forgot I'm the one with the brain cell currently. Any final thoughts, Lemming?
No thoughts, head empty. Bring on 2 week a week on Saturday.
Yes, I'll be having I'll be having a week off very soon myself.
Or whenever we get our next RPG thing.
Yes. Oh God, we need to arrange that. We need to talk to Scarf and arrange when the next RPG session will be, because I miss it. You know.
Me too.
Yeah, I miss it too.
I was kind of excited to have one session before I have like a tooth ripped out, but I you know,
Yeah.
if people have got work, people have got work. So
Yeah, me, I want to punch baddies again.
Yeah.
I just the thing with me is like my obligation is triggered, so I know I'm in so much fucking danger right now, and it's just like I just want to like it's like the hornet's nest. There's a hornet's nest right there, and I know I'm gonna have to put my hand in it at some point. It's just like I just want to get it over with, please.
I just want to be done with it.
Can I just shoot the hornet's nest?
Please, Das. If you could just shoot the hornet's nest, I would love that. But I have a
Can I-
horrible feeling it's gonna go horribly wrong.
I've got a horrible feeling this hornet's nest is wearing armor and probably has some armament. You know.
And it's got trauma attached, so that's gonna be fine.
Me's are gonna punch the hornets in the faces.
Yay.
Okay then. Yes, and also check out my Star Wars RPG. 2 episodes up right now on my channel. Starring these lovely people and Scarfulu and Doctor, who is the other guest who joins us on the channel. Anyway, thank you everyone for joining us, everyone. We've been the Commoners Podcast team, and we'll see you all next time. Our next tour stream will be on Tuesday, the 27th of September. We'll see you all next time for remake or remaster the sequel.
And remember, keep your friends close and buy Shadow and SSD.
Ta-ta, everyone.
Don't do that. I swear to God. I will find you, Mr. Burr.